Yo, yo, yo. Today, everybody, we have the tomahawk steak. And yeah, we're going to throw this on the grill. I'm going to show you guys how I do that. Right now, I got the grill going outside. It is heating up and everything. It's going to be a delicious steak. I made steaks a lot before on my channel. I made ribeyes before. I made all types of beef. But you guys never seen the tomahawk. So we're going to get down to it. I'm going to show you how I prep it and everything. And we're going to do some light veggies. We're not really doing too many veggies because there's a lot of meat. So I'm just going to have just some onion and a bell pepper. That's it. And then I got the smoker, or I got the grill outside ready to go. Well, actually, it's warming up. Actually, I should go check on it. Look through the window. Okay, yeah, actually the coals could stand again. Actually, we'll go outside now. We'll do that part first, because the main thing is you want to get the grill nice and ready. And the method I'm doing today is the reverse sear, because this is a thick piece of beef, and so I want to make sure that it's got that nice even pink center. So as you see now, I got my chimney, and that's a nice roaring fire coming through. You see the sparks just flying all over it. Woo! It almost hurts to reach in here, but you just got to get on in there, and then we're just going to dump out. Beautiful. And we will set this down. Alrighty. So yep, we got our nice roaring hot fire to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lower this all the way down, and I'm going to just close my vents up kind of halfway-ish. And what we'll do is we're just going to close this up and let our smoker and let our grill just kind of balance out the temperature. We do what since it's a reverse sear method, I got all my coals on one side. I'm going to push them over with a knife later. But for right now, I got everything on one side. And when I put my meat on the grill, it's just going to be on this side initially. And that's just to bring it up to the temperature we need. But for now, so let's get inside and let's season our steak. I had the steak out resting for maybe 30 minutes. It's probably nowhere near long enough in the resting phase. But since I'm doing the reverse sear, there's no really need to let the steak rest and come up to room temperature. Normally, if I'm doing like a quick sear, then we will do that. So I'm just gonna lower this. Hopefully I get a good angle so you guys can check me out. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is I already prepared my seasonings. I got garlic powder, black pepper, and some salt in here. And then I also got some fresh ground black pepper that I'm gonna add on top of that. And then I also have some pink salt. But this is just like a little mixture, just because it's really powdery. So I like that. And that's so we can try to coat this as much as we can, because it's gonna be very, it's a thick piece of meat. So we wanna make sure that every bite you take, you get a nice little crunch of flavor. So the first thing we're gonna do is take this out. I give it a little rinse off just cause, for good luck. All right, so there we go. Now, the first thing I like to do is I kind of just like to pat it dry a little bit. And that's just so that the seasonings will stick on here a little bit better. With all that water and juice from the packaging, it'll kind of rub off. Now, if you want, some people do this, I probably won't, but some people will like cut and then trim away some of this off the bone. I won't do that because I can't. It's pretty trimmed enough. But also, once we put this on the grill, the fire will kind of get rid of all this excess fat and stuff that's on the bone. And that's just so it looks pretty. It's really not a big importance to it that much. If you want to trim some of this fat, you can. I'm going to leave it all on. Just because I will probably just score this fat just a little bit. And that's all I need. All right. So now I'm going to get my garlic powder, black pepper. I think some onion powder's in here too. And I'm just going to give a nice generous coat. And you want to make sure you get everything. You want to get all the sides, even the bone too. Now some people say less is more with the steak, which is true. Usually I just do salt and pepper, but today I want a little bit of garlic in my life. So we're just gonna add a little bit of garlic like that. And then make sure you get the top part, the bottom, the sides. And yep, there we go. Beautiful. We'll add a little bit more. And then also, once it's stuck on there like that, another little trick I like to do is I try to take a little bit of olive oil and then just kind of like drizzle it. You can drizzle it on your hand if you want to. And then just kind of pat that in. And that helps it kind of stick a little bit. And then sometimes the oil. And now if you're making this, if you're doing like a sear on it initially, the oil will help it get that nice crispy sear on the outside. But with this, we won't need to do that because this is going on the warming side of the grill first. So we're just gonna season the bone a little bit more. We'll season the inside. I'm gonna coat this whole thing up in nice, good old flavor spices, flavor powders. And don't be afraid to add too much because this is a thick piece of meat. So once you cut it into those slices that we love to see, it's gonna look nice. It's always gonna taste nice in a sense. So, all right, so that should be about enough. I got my black peppercorns. I'll probably add a little bit of that later. And we got some pink salt. So the first thing I'm gonna do is wash my hands. And what I'm gonna do today is I'm also gonna, I'm not gonna just poke at it since this is a big piece of meat. I wanna be more precise about it. So what I am gonna do is I'm gonna use my temperature probes. That's because I wanna make sure I get it right up to that 140. For me, I'm gonna go 140. You can eat your steak as rare as you like. I find 140 is my favorite sweet spot. So then once I get it to the 140, then there we go. And I'm just adding a little bit of pink salt on top. And that's pretty much it. Well, and then I'll take this out on the grill, and then once I flip it and turn it over a couple times, I'll add some more salt and pepper. Definitely for the end finish, we'll add some more salt and pepper at the end. So let me, so while that steak is sitting there all seasoned and resting, I'm gonna get my probes. So I'm using my Inkbird, and what I am going to do, basically, is I'm gonna cut this on. And I guess this will be a tutorial how to do this as well. Like a light tutorial, I guess. Now, I'm not really concerned about the temperature of the grill, so I won't need that temperature because I know that the grill's going to be hot on one side, warm on the other, so I'm not really concerned about what the temperature of the grill is. I do want that fire roaring when I do get ready to sear it, but for now, as long as the grill's running, it's good enough for me. So first thing I got to do is get one of these untangled. There we go. Alrighty. And then I'm going to plug this into the first one. There we go. And so now it's 82. That's the degrees. That's it is very warm in this kitchen. So that's about the temperature inside the kitchen, 84. You can test this by putting in boiling water or cold water if you want to like see the variations of it. So it's cold water now, and as you see the temperature's dropping a little bit. Why isn't my water cold? Oh, that might be a design flaw. Okay, there we go. It's dropping. I gotta hold the tip. So you gotta hold the tip up under it. See, that's gonna drop more. But anyway, we're gonna get to the cooking. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna stick this in a nice thick fat part of the steak. So we're gonna put that right in there. So now that probe is sitting right in the middle of the steak and the middle of the steak. And as you see right now, the internal temperature is 45 degrees. So that's because it's still cold. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it out on the grill, and we are going to put that on the cool side. And I'll show you guys what I mean in just a minute. We're gonna put this on the cool side, and let's let that come up to temperature slowly. All right, we are out here. We are outside, and right now my grill is running at about a nice solid 350. Yeah, so it's about a 350 it's holding, maybe a little bit less than that, maybe 330. But that's all right. That's good. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up my grill, and I got my Inkbird thing going. So now this grate, I'm gonna leave this grate over here. That's gonna be my hot grate for when I get ready to sear my steak. But for now, we just wanna warm it up. So over here, I'm just gonna take this and put it right on there like that. And then we'll close it, let it warm up. I'm actually gonna open this all the way, let enough oxygen hit that so it's gonna heat up. And pretty much we will just sit here and, well, we're gonna go inside actually, but we'll let that come up to about we'll say 130. At about 130, we'll switch it and bring it over to the hot side. And that's going to sear. That's where we'll do our sear on it. And then from there, we will enjoy us some steak. I'm trying to forget this thing to cut on. Alrighty. There we go. Do I gotta charge it? Maybe I gotta charge it. That's probably what it is. Should have charged it. I could have sworn I charged it. All right, there we go. So yeah, so now we still at 45. We got to 46 now. So we're gonna let that sit. We're gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it on my phone. I got the app and everything. So I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna chop up my veggies while this kind of sits and does its thing. We're gonna open all the grates. We're gonna open all the vents and everything. And the grill I'm using today is my Char Griller Legacy. I love this. It's one of my favorite ones. But yeah, so I got this open. I got that open. I got it all open so that way the fire can kind of breathe, do its thing. And what we'll do is we'll come back out here and check it. I'll flip it, maybe rotate it around just so it gets that even smokiness on all sides. And then what you'll notice about the reverse sear is going to have a lot more flavor, and it's going to be nice cooked evenly. Yeah, so now if you try to sear this thing, you could have the risk of it being like really crispy on the outside and then underdone in the middle. And it's not bad, but it kind of, the best is to have it nice, even pink all the way through. So we'll go in here and we'll chop up the veggies and show you guys how to do that in just a moment. All right, so let's get our veggies going. All right, so for the veggies, we're gonna do a real simple, nothing too fancy. I'm just gonna do a bell pepper and an onion. Now I know what y'all thinking, man. Some nice potatoes will go good with it. Some what else will go good with it? Mushrooms will go good with it. I'm actually doing like a low carb thing right now, so no potatoes. And also, I don't feel like making a lot of stuff with it. I'm just gonna eat this big piece of steak and call it a day. But if you want to do potatoes, I got other videos on this channel where you can see how I do my potatoes with the cheese and you know the what I put in mine. I put a little bit of butter and Parmesan cheese on my potatoes and cheddar cheese as well. It's really delicious. But for this, we're just gonna do some simple onions. And I didn't want any mushrooms today. I'm actually saving my palate for mushrooms for an upcoming dish I'm working on. But you guys will see that soon. All right, so pretty much, there we go. And then as we're talking, the steak's right outside on the grill now. So that's gonna do what it does best. And it's gonna heat up nice and slowly. It's gonna give it a nice smoky flavor. And then we're also gonna do our veggies on the grill as well. So, and you can cut these any kind of way you want. All right, actually that's plenty of veggies for me. There we go. go. So I'm just gonna cut them in little pieces like that, and that's just to give a little bit of so we can have some veggies for the day, you know. Alrighty. Oh, there we go. Alright, that's enough for me. I like that. We'll throw in a little bit of that too. So now what we're gonna do is I always add like a little bit of olive oil on top of my veggies, because I'm gonna put this cast iron right on the grill. And yeah, it's gonna do that thing. And then I'm gonna take some seasoning. This is just some allspice that I made. It's got a little bit of everything. I don't know what's all in it. It's a little bit of lemon pepper, some garlic powder, a little bit of Old Bay, some basil, some thyme. There's another green herb in there. I'm not sure what, but so that's that. I won't add any salt to it, and we're just gonna take this right outside on the grill. I'm gonna put it on the hot side. I am gonna wait a minute. I'm gonna let that steak kind of cook a little bit longer, and also because the veggies are gonna cook. The veggies don't take that long to cook either. So we'll let the steak kind of sit for a little bit. Also, you don't want to be opening and closing the grill, because the more you do that, the longer it takes for this steak to cook, and it's already a big piece of meat. So we want to let it do its thing, not bother it too much. We got our thermometer or temperature that we're working on. We're watching that. So yeah, that's about it. All right, we back outside, and it is noticeably getting a little darker out. So hopefully we hurry this process up so we don't be out here all day with this steak. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up all the vents. We still have 300 though. I mean, that's the best we're gonna get it. Only because I'm not finna pile up too much charcoal in here to be kind of wasting it. Just take our time with the beautiful steak. Take our time with it. So right now, let's see. Well, so right now so now the internal steak is it's kind of backwards, but that's 59. Yeah, that's 59. So it's pretty good. We like 59. We like that a lot. But it's gonna have to come up some more. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna open this up, and then I'm gonna put my veggies on here. Actually, we'll put our veggies up top here, right up there. And then also I'm gonna take my steak, and we'll give it a flip, because why not? Ooh, there we go. All right. So as long as we got the probe in there. All right. Well, actually, you guys can't see the steak. So yeah, there's a tomahawk steak right there, and we're gonna just let that sit. I'm gonna close it, let everything sit. I'm gonna close this vent up actually, and I kept this vent open over here. So pretty much, and this is how you want to set up your two-tone or two-heat zone grills. You want your hot fire over here with a lot of air going in, and then your meat's over here. So the heat's gonna come and the smoke's gonna come over here, then it's gonna come up this vent, and that's how you do it. So I'm gonna close that one just so it's not too much, just so everything kind of flows this way and out, and that's pretty much what we want here. So we got that open, and I'm gonna go back inside, and we'll probably come back out. Maybe it might take another 15 minutes or so. So we'll keep an eye on that definitely. But yeah, so we'll end the video here. And then, or maybe I might attach it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But yeah, definitely will. Smells good out here too. Oh, that smells good. Yeah. Starting to smell those onions and veggies kind of heat up a little bit. But hopefully it don't get too dark out here. If it does, whatever. For now, we're just gonna sit here and watch everything, let everything manifest, and yeah, pretty much. So be on standby for a little bit. All right, so it's definitely getting dark out here, but the steak is coming along good. Right now we're at 91 degrees internally, so I'm just gonna pretty much just check on my veggies now, and veggies are looking good. I hear the sizzle in them, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna keep the veggies over on the hot side of things, and then I'm gonna actually flip my steak again. Yeah, and it's very soft. Steak is very soft. You can see some color. Well, you probably can't see it now, but There's definitely a little bit of color on the steak just from it being in the same heat source as this whole grill. But pretty much I like what's happening here. I like what's happening. Everything's going along pretty good. So wow, now it's at 93. So once it gets to about 120, that's like rare. Once it gets to 120, I'm going to put it on the hot side and sear it. And I'm gonna take it to about 130, and that'll be good. That'll be good for me. Usually I eat it at 140-ish, but we'll see how it looks. We'll see. We'll cut it open. It'll be nice, beautifully pink and everything. And yeah, so we just gotta wait. Let's do some more patient waiting, I guess. Alright, so pretty much we outside still. The temperature is 127, so we're gonna pull it at 130. But so far I've just been kind of flipping it around, make sure it gets a nice beautiful sear. Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful right there. We want to cook. And there's a lot of fat right over here, as you can see, so I do kind of want to burn some of that off if I can. Or just to render it, you know. Oh, look at that. We are at 129. So yeah, it's cooking. It is cooking. So we're going to pull it. Oh, there we go. 131. So we're going to pull the steak over here. We'll take the temperature out. And one thing about steak is it's going to continue to rise. So hopefully I didn't overdo it. But we'll let that rest for a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside and get ready to plate it up. Alright guys, it is time. I was out there fumbling around with the steak a little bit. It got dark, so unfortunately I wasn't able to get the footage that I would love to show. But what I did was I kept flipping around, and then I moved it to the hot side at about 110. And I was just flipping it here and there. Then eventually it got up to 130. And that's where I pulled it. That's where I put it onto the cool side. So I put it back on the cool side, and I just pretty much put it on top of my veggies like this. And now I'm bringing it into the house, and we're just gonna cut into this bad boy. Now, one thing about doing it the reverse sear way is you don't necessarily have to let the steak rest, because it's been like resting all this time, you know. It's been just sitting at that steady temperature. So we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna go ahead and just take this over here, and I'm gonna do some cuts so you guys know it's real, and then I'll plate it up at the end. And yeah, so my favorite part is the very tip of it right there. It's always very soft, and as you see, beautiful. Nice, beautiful pink center. It's nice and even. This part looks very soft, very soft. Oh, that's good. And then just to also show you an additional layer of how soft it is, we can cut it with a spoon. Well, not really. We can't cut it with this spoon. It's a lot of fat in there, but yeah, it's pretty delicious. We're gonna keep cutting this with the. I bet if I let it rest for a little bit longer, it'll soften up a little bit. But actually, yeah, we can definitely break that apart easily. Oh, that is delicious. Okay, so I'm gonna get the eating, but as you see, it's very nice and tender. Look at that. I haven't pressed it out. This is the final plate here. Looks beautiful. I'm gonna go sit down and dig into this, but this is another episode of Vic Cook. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time.